So sun-dried, the next one will go in there is a fine dice of the sun-dried tomato. And the sun-dried, this has neither been soaked or it's literally just the regular soft sun-dried that we use. And we always, I guess it's just my personal preference. I always go with the soft sun-dried as opposed to the sun-dried that have been soaked in oil or soaked in water. Or, I just prefer that for the style of cuisine that I do, whether it's sun-dried pâtés or filling or stuffing. I just think it's a nicer texture. You get a nicer perfume. The oil, I don't know. I don't enjoy the finished product as much with the sun-dried in oil. It's just a personal preference more than anything. All right. So basil, cilantro. Just get rid of the stems. And we're going to chop these, and then the next thing that will go in is I need a little bit of heat, so I'm going to use Scotch bonnet again, give it some intense flavor. I will probably, for this amount, I'll only need not even a quarter of a Scotch bonnet, I don't think. I'll probably go with an eighth of a Scotch bonnet. I'll do that last, because obviously I'll have to clean the board off once I'm finished. So I'm going to go with the herbs, the garlic, the olive oil and the crab yolk. Then we've got a snow crab right here. We'll drop that straight in. And I'm going to throw in some extra virgin olive oil. Just a little bit. I don't want too much. I just more to keep it moist than anything else. Especially if you're traveling for a fair ways, it's nice to have that just that oil top. It'll stop it from crusting. I'm gonna dress it on the spoons now. Normally we would dress it on the spoons at the gig just before it goes, but of course there are always those times when you're doing drop-offs. And so it's got to be dressed a couple of hours before it's going to be eaten and transported. So the oil just gives it that little bit of shine, gives it a little bit of finish, and is a great preservative, of course. I don't like doing those drop-off ones, but you know, they can't be helped, part of the business, and you can't always send a chef off to do a party for 12 or 14 people who just want appetizers. And in our marketplace, we have a lot of customers who they might want to cook the entree or cook the dessert or cook one part of the meal and buy the rest of it from us. Whether they say it's our food or their food, you know, I really don't care. But it can be a little tedious getting the food from A to B. So in with the garlic. A little bit of pepper, not too much because we're going to add the Scotch bonnet. A little bit of seasoning salt, and not too much because of the crab. And everything there but the Scotch bonnet. I'm maybe going to use a quarter of, well, let's go a third of this half. That should be plenty. There we go. Then, just going to give this guy a mix. So now I am getting a little ginger. I'm getting some cilantro, basil, and it's quite moist. You can see we've got a nice texture, nice color. You've got the papaya all the way through there. Just give it a taste to make sure I haven't missed anything. Perfect. ready to dress. I'm going to take the individual spoons. Just going to take about a walnut-shaped piece. People are going to be shooting this, so you don't want to have too much on the spoon. And you can already see the contrast, the colors, the white background with the black slippers. I think looks magnificent. Very simple, very easy. It smells really good. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to one side, cut up a little bit of garnish. I use the basil leaves in front of me, and the lights are killing my cilantro, but we can use a little bit of cilantro in here. I've got some rosemary, so I can use a little bit of rosemary. And I've got some physalis, which I love. I think they're great. Just fit here and there. I might just take a little sun-dried tomato and do some julienne. And then put just one piece of sun-dried on each one. Okay, so we've got the sun-dried tomato, just a strip of sun-dried tomato. We've got cilantro in there, so I'm just putting a small sprig of cilantro onto each one. And over here we've got I was going to say papaya palm tree, but that's a bit of a stretch. My Caribbean rainforest at the end here. And if you want to, we've got some chopped parsley here. If you really want to go crazy, then you can do a little bit of the old New York restaurant save the plate. And voila! Snow crab papaya ceviche on gypsy slippers.